Hi guys, hey, I'm doing another acne video. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while, and I just thought I would throw another one out there. At this point, I feel like I've done a couple of videos mentioning a few things here and then a few things there, and some of those things and those videos don't work for me anymore. Or, I thought they were working at the time, and now I'm like, wow, that really probably made my skin worse. So you can go watch those and ask me a question if you don't know if what I was saying was something I was like learning in the process of learning or I already knew. But there's a lot of tips here, and I think that the most important thing to take from this video is that acne is different for everyone. It's like anxiety is different for everyone. So just because something worked for me does not mean that it's 100% going to work for you. But a lot of these aren't product recommendations. This video is more about tips, lifestyle changes, just kind of like small changes you can make that can really make a huge difference for your skin. Now, the first thing you're obviously already going to know, and I'm sure you've heard it a million times from doctors and parents and friends and everyone, but drink water, lots and lots of water. And I know you might drink like a million bottles of water a day and your skin still isn't clear. Like, I get it. I've been there, done that. You can watch my acne story video if you want to hear about my horrible, traumatic acne situation growing up. I still definitely had my breakout moments. My skin is never 100% clear, but it has gotten so much better since I was younger, and I think not only is that thanks to the products I'm using, but thanks to just a lot of the changes I've made in my life. Like I said, the first thing is water, and I know that just doing that alone may not make a huge difference, but there's a good chance it will. But I feel like anytime you drink more water, it can't be bad for you. It is clearing out your system. You have to stay hydrated. I find that it helps with dryness, with spots, with even clearing up scarring. Also just makes you look more plump and dewy, makes your skin look less dull. Another thing that just to throw in there is I find that chamomile tea helps. I don't know if this is for everyone or it's just something that I've noticed. For about a year there, I was drinking chamomile tea nearly every night. I drink the cozy chamomile one from Bigelow, and I stopped there for like a month or two. My skin got really bad. Not as bad as it was in the past, but it just wasn't as clear as it had been. And then I started going back to my tea every night, and I feel like my skin has gotten clearer since drinking that. I know that tea can dehydrate you, but I just find that whatever's in chamomile tea, like just chamomile, I think it helps my skin. So maybe just try that out if you want to try something pretty cheap that's easy to do. Another thing that I learned probably like 5 years ago that I never thought of, like I must have been insane, but maybe just because I was in high school I wasn't thinking about things like this, but cleaning your sheets and your pillowcases and of course your face towel, and also having your own dedicated face towel. You might just grab the hand towel everyone in the house uses to dry their hands every time they go to the bathroom, and that's pretty gross. So not only is that gonna have like urine and bits of grossness bacteria, so I have my own towel I keep in my bedroom and just bring it down every time I wash my face in the bathroom. And along with that is wash your pillowcases and your sheets, and obviously you probably do that anyway, but I didn't do it nearly enough. I just find that that really helped out when I started to wash my pillowcases a lot more. I noticed a huge difference in my skin because all your hair product, whatever moisturizer you have on, if you're sweating in your sleep, if you have pets, all that stuff is on your pillowcases and your sheets, and that's all touching your face at night. So at night, where your skin is supposed to be kind of rebooting and like resurfacing, rejuvenating itself for the next day, it could be getting more and more bacteria in it from dirty pillowcases and things like that. So all those things should be cleaned very regularly. Another one is something that is definitely gonna be different for everyone, but this is what made a huge difference for me, and that is cutting out soy and dairy products. Now, I love cheese. It's one of my favorite foods, so I don't 100% cut these things out, but I have been trying to cut back on those as well as just all animal products. A lot of people have sensitivities to soy and to dairy, whether it's a sensitivity or an allergy. I was never diagnosed with like lactose intolerance, but I have a sensitivity to lactose. I think last summer I actually cut out dairy for a complete month, and my skin was doing so amazingly well. I can't cut out dairy 100%. I just can't do it. I love dairy way too much. But definitely try to cut those things back and see if it helps you out. I know my brother also has cut out dairy recently, and it's been helping him a lot as well. It's also just eating better, eating more clean foods. And I know this sounds so terrible, and like people say it's like that's not, there's no actual correlation with it, but there definitely is. If whether it's an allergy or just a sensitivity or anything like that. Obviously there's people out there who smoke and they drink and they eat sugar and eat all McDonald's every day all day and their skin is perfect. They are blessed. You might not think, why do I have to cut out, why do I have to change my lifestyle just to get clear skin? It's not fair. And you're right, it's not fair. It literally sucks, but it is worth it, I think, depending on how much you hate having acne. Definitely try to just eat more fruits and vegetables. Also, don't over exfoliate. That's another tip. I used to use like a scrub all the time because I like the feeling of like a harsh scrub. I feel like you're getting really clean if you use that. I used to use the Clarisonic, and those things are good, and I definitely think exfoliating is super important to get the dead skin cells off and just like resurface your skin, but don't do it too often. I probably do it once or twice a week at this point, but I would definitely recommend using a scrub, but don't overdo it. Don't scrub really hard. Do it gently. Being gentle to your skin. You might get annoyed, you might feel like there's gunk in your skin. If you just scrub it hard enough, it'll get clean, but that's not how skin works. I would recommend the scrubs from Lush. Angels on Bare Skin I think is my favorite one. Their cleansers are all kind of granulally based, and they are exfoliating but very gentle. They have like a lavender and chamomile and stuff like that in them, so they're very gentle and good for sensitive skin if you want exfoliant for daily use but you don't want to overdo it. Next, for the ladies out there, any men too, anyone who wears makeup, remove your makeup 100%. I know some people who don't do that, and it grosses me out just personally, but wash your face really well. Don't use makeup wipes. Makeup wipes don't work. I know some people use them and their skin is perfect, great, but if you're having trouble with acne, I don't think makeup wipes are your friend. They just don't clean well enough. You need to use like 3 or 4 of them to get everything off, no matter how little bit of makeup. I used to just wear like powder and concealer, and wipes just didn't remove anything, and they are actually breaking me out. When I switched from the wipes I used to use to cleansing oil, my skin got dramatically clearer and a lot less oily. I use a cleansing oil. I find a cleansing oil to be really useful whether you have dry skin with acne or oily skin, because it will balance that. Make sure you're removing all your makeup, every last stitch of it, and wipes I just don't think are your friend. Along with that is make sure to wash your tools. So with your tweezers, your makeup brushes, your makeup sponges, all that stuff, wash them very regularly. I know it's annoying if you don't want to wash them all the time, like actually a deep clean. Use one of those disinfectant kind of sprays. You can use tea tree oil, or like with diluted with water. You can use a ton of different things. They make a bunch of those sprays that you can just use for quick cleaning, but make sure you're cleaning all of your makeup brushes, eye brushes, everything. I clean my face brushes very often whenever I notice the color build up, and it's not that difficult. I just use like a Pure and Clear from Palmolive, and it does a good job. It smells really good. You can use baby shampoo, whatever floats your boat, and I know it seems like a hassle, but it really only takes like 5 minutes, not even. Another thing is to stay out of the sun. I don't mean completely out of the sun, obviously we all love the summer and everything, but make sure you're using SPF. Don't go out in the sun without SPF. And I know it sounds annoying to say that, and I've heard people say this my whole life, and I never wanted to listen, because you know, when I used to go and get tan, I would notice my skin looked clearer. I would be like, I look great, my skin's tan, my acne's going away, it's getting dried up from the sun. But that's not what's happening. All it is darkening the pigmentation of your skin and kind of making it look less like it's breaking out. Like you don't see the redness as much when your skin is tan. And it's also causing you to a higher chance of getting skin cancer, which is terrible, and it really messes with your scarring. If you have acne in the moment while you're out in the sun, you might think, oh look, it's drying up, but it will cause acne scars down the line, and it will create sunspots, and it's just not good. So make sure you're using SPF. I know a lot of SPFs can break you out. I have that experience, so I have one in my makeup, which I pretty much wear anytime I go outside anyway, so that really helps for me. But CeraVe makes a really good day cleanser with an SPF in it if you're looking for one, but definitely just like watch out with the sun, especially if you're using products like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. They can over dry you and cause some like sensitivity and irritation if you go out in the sun. And that moves into my next topic, which is using salicylic acid. That is the best acne fighting product in my opinion, especially from the drugstore. Benzoyl peroxide can be very irritating and drying. That's the one that can dye all your towels, like bleach them. So it's good if you have super duper oily skin and you really need something like that, but I've always had a terrible experience with benzoyl peroxide. It over dried me, made me flaky, made me sore, made my whole skin feel like it was like cracking. So salicylic acid is a bit more gentle. It does just as good, I think, as getting rid of pimples, but it won't over dry your skin. I use Salic that has salicylic acid and green tea in it. I'll link that below. I've talked about it for ages. It's like my go-to holy grail acne product, and it moisturizes and helps get rid of acne, so I would really recommend that. I have a ton of products from the drugstore that have salicylic acid in them. I just really recommend that over benzoyl peroxide. It could just be too intense and actually cause you to irritate your skin and make it break out more. Another one, which I'm sure you've heard plenty of times, is hands off. Don't pick, don't pop, don't poke. None of that stuff. It's never good. It's never a good idea. Not only can it spread bacteria from your hands to all over different spots of your face, but it can burst stuff underneath the skin, causing more breakouts. It also causes scarring, and scarring is way harder to get rid of than acne itself. So really, it's just never a good idea. I've talked about in videos before how you can pop a pimple if it is ready the best way, and that would be when it is a whitehead is the only time it really is okay to be popped. And don't use your fingers, don't use nails, don't use tweezers, nothing crazy like that. You take a towel, a nice soft towel, dampen it with some warm water, and just gently rub right over. And if it pops right off, you're good to go. If not, then it's not ready. And I know it sucks because you don't want to walk around with a whitehead. Most of the time that method will work when you have a whitehead, but if it's like a cystic pimple or something, I know you want to get rid of those so fast. You think if you just pop it and get all the gunk out, it'll make it better. But really that just causes scarring, that makes it last longer, makes it more red and inflamed, and it's just not fun, and it makes things worse down the line. And I know it's hard to keep your hands off, but put mittens on your hands or something if you have to, because it's just not worth popping and picking and touching and everything. It just spreads bacteria and it's gross. If you want more tips for cystic acne, I have a whole video about how to reduce cystic acne overnight. It's not like a holy grail miracle or something, but it really helped me a lot when I had more cystic breakouts. And then if you're a girl, you can always take the birth control pill. It can help. Obviously that's like up to you and your own opinions. It's a very difficult process to deal with if you are sensitive with periods and all that stuff. But if your breakouts are hormonal, it's probably a good idea just to talk to your doctor about it. I have a whole video talking about my birth control pill story. If you want to check that out, I'll link it below, kind of my whole experience on it and being on it and being off it and what it did for me. And some people like praise the pill for clearing up their skin. It didn't do that for me personally, but if you suffer with hormonal breakouts, I would really recommend just talking to your doctor about it. You can always try it out. If it doesn't work out, you can always stop taking it, but it's just something to look into if you're kind of on your last resort and you don't know what else to do. And then if all these things still haven't worked for you, and maybe even if you're before all these things, try a dermatologist. They're not miracle workers. They're not going to change your life overnight, but I would really recommend going to a dermatologist. I wish I had gone so much sooner. I didn't go until I was in my 20s. I wish I had gone in high school, honestly. I feel like my whole high school and college experiences would have been much better if I felt a lot more confident in myself and could look in the mirror and like what I saw, and I didn't, and I should have tried earlier. For sure. When you do go to the dermatologist, don't depend on them for everything. Don't think that they just know your skin better than you do and that they know every single thing, because they don't. You have to tell them everything. My doctor really trusts me, and she knows that I've been suffering with this for a long time, so she believes me when I explain things to her and like knows that I know what I'm talking about because I've done so much research. But tell your doctor everything, you know, tell them what you think might be causing it. Tell them if you think you have an allergy to dairy or soy or something. You know, tell them if you eat junk food. Tell them what products you're using, because it could be a product that you're having a sensitivity to. It could be like a moisturizer that's too heavy or a foundation that's too much. So tell them all the products that you use, that you put on your face on a daily basis, and also tell them what kind of pimples you get, whether they're cystic, whether they're whiteheads, whether they're red bumps, blackheads. You know, tell them what your issue is. Tell them if your skin is dry and acne prone, or oily and acne prone, or combination. You know, tell them if you have rosacea, if your skin is itchy, if it gets dry and sensitive. You know, all these different things correlate to what product a dermatologist can give you, and if you don't give them all the information, the thing that they give you might not work. Also make sure to tell them where you break out, because sometimes the position of the breakouts on your face can cause something, whether it's a product that you're putting on your face, whether it's in your hairline, it could be a hair product that you're using, or if it's around your jawline and your chin, it could be more hormonal. If it's on your forehead and I think the center of your face, it could be based on what you're eating. Tell them if you break out a certain time of the month, if it's from hormones, if you just break out when you're more stressed, because it could be caused by certain things. Dermatologists can help with all of this. Sit with them, talk with them, tell them everything that you can think of. I actually make a whole list before I go and prepare to give to my doctor and try the product. When you're trying a new acne product or any product, like from like moisturizer to cleanser or anything, you have to use it for at least a month before you really know how your skin's going to react to it. Sometimes there's like a trial period in the beginning where your skin can get worse before it gets better, and it's hard to deal with that, but it is worth it. I had a product like that when I first went to my dermatologist that gave me like a purge, got all the stuff out of my skin before it got clear. So that first week into the second week, my skin was like yelling at me. It was like, I was like, oh my god, I hate this, but a couple of days later it was like almost completely clear. Make sure that you're patient with products, and you don't want to change too many products at once either, because then you won't know which product is helping and which product is making things worse. So I hope that all of these things helped you out. I hope I didn't leave anything out, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If there's anything that you're using a product or you want a recommendation or anything, make sure to check out my other videos too. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!